I was yours for the taking. Guess I needed a home, but if I'm not mistaken, you were good on your own. And I know I was drunk enough. Didn't know it would mess me up, yeah. Now I'm truly awakened up. Say you wanna talk again, but it's time I do this my way.
Okay, guys, how you doing? It's been a while. Yeah, I'm here in Bath, England. Been here for 2.5 months, and I haven't made these sort of, talking to the camera, travel vlog, whatever kind of videos for a long time. Mainly just because I've been so busy with work and other things I've been doing. But making the last video with the beautiful camera woman, Jan, who's holding the camera, and we went to Istanbul, and that trip kind of like reminded me like I really have a passion for making videos. It's just something I find so much joy in. So because of that, I just want to get back into it. So I'm thinking about making a video a week or every 2 weeks as I travel. And because now being here in England for 2.5 months, and now having to go back to Thailand because I have a job there and I have a life there, I'm just gonna document some of that travel and some of the stuff that I see left and right, so for myself and maybe for people out there that like to watch that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's it. So it's exciting. I hope you guys are having a great time, great New Year, great Christmas, all that stuff. So now the only thing that's left to say is play the travel montage.
Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. Now I can't believe that it was real. It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forgive. Cause I hate how much I love it, oh I hate how I just love to catch a feel. Yeah. I've been waiting.
Oh, guys. That was a long one. Holy shite. After getting to the hotel, completely passed out and slept through. The thing is, when you travel from Europe to Southeast Asia, is that you're traveling with time. So Southeast Asia is ahead of Europe, and I've made this mistake before, and I don't know why I keep doing it. I guess this time around it's just down to not that many flights. But anyways, I fly from the morning, this time around from the UK in the morning, and then as you travel to Thailand, then you catch up on time as they're ahead. And what happens is that when I get to like my internal clock, let's say I traveled 8 a.m. in the morning, and then 8 p.m. at night I landed essentially, then it was 6 a.m. here in Thailand. So you kind of skip the night, and it's really hard for me to sleep on a flight if it's not like really comfortable. And the flight I had from Doha was fucking terrible. Like it was, you're in Doha airport and everything in terms of COVID seems so safe. You sit down on a bench and there's like every other second seat, is crossed out. All these sort of measures has been taken. But then you get in a plane and we basically just sat on top of each other, right? And when you travel to Thailand right now, it's kind of risky because when you land, you have your first PCR, and that's basically at the airport. And then after 7 days, you have your six days, you have your second PCR. And in Thailand right now, if you test positive for COVID, you will be taken to the hospital, where you have to spend 2 weeks quarantine. It's not only extremely expensive, but it's also just like a huge hassle being at a hospital, right? When you're here to live your best life. So I think right now there's so many cases in Phuket that the hospitals are full. So you have the option of going to what's called an AHQ hotel, alternate state quarantine, I think it stands for, which is basically just a hotel where you completely get locked down in, and which is obviously better than the hospital, but it's also extremely expensive. So it's not like, for example, in the UK or where I'm from in Denmark, if you get COVID positive, then you basically just have to self-quarantine at home, and then you can, still, you're in your normal surroundings at home. You can still live a somewhat normal life. You're not locked in a room somewhere. So when you're here, the point is when you're here, you're just kind of like a little bit like, on the edge of actually catching it. And with this new Omicron variant, like people don't even get symptoms anymore. So it's pretty scary. But anyways, passed my first PCR, and the next one is on Saturday. So fingers crossed. Uh, anyway, that's me back in Thailand. Back into what you can see. You can see beautiful weather, and it's probably a little bit overexposed. Beautiful weather. Everything's great. Woke up early this morning because of jet lag, and I just went straight to the beach, hopped in the water. I was just down there, just like, so grateful for. Yeah, it's amazing for me to be in England with my girlfriend. That's awesome, and I would never be without that, of course. But to come back and just, take the scooter to the beach or take the scooter wherever you want to go, any time of the day, go anywhere you want. It's free. I can't really explain it. People that's been here, they know what I'm talking about. If you've been bit by the Asian buck, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's freaking beautiful here, man. It's so good. I mean, come on.
I mean, look at this. How good is that? Oh, man.
So yeah, just before I end this video, I just want to give you guys a little tip. If you are planning to travel to Thailand, because I do know there are quite a few people of my friends and stuff that are watching these videos that have plans of coming here, is my best advice to you is when you pick your sandbox hotel, the hotel where you will, after landing in Phuket, will have to spend the first 7 days, not like completely isolated, but just you have to sleep there. Which is a completely different talk why that is. But anyways, you have to do that. And my recommendation is don't go to booking.com. You can go and scout booking.com or Agoda or hotels.com and see what's available, because they need something called SHA Extra Plus certification, which is essentially just means that the hotel, the staff has COVID, have been COVID vaccinated, blah, 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 all these sort of things. But email them first, right? This time around, I was extremely unlucky with the hotel I picked, and I almost did not get the papers from the hotel in time to make the application, which means that I would have lost all the money I paid for flight, hotel, PCR test. Everything has to be pre-booked before. So that's my best advice to you, is to email the hotel ahead of time, and make sure that they are responsive, and you get an idea they actually know what they're doing. So that once you book the hotel, you get the receipt for your payment, which you need when you have to apply for the sandbox model in Thailand. So, but anyways, if you have any questions if you're traveling to Thailand, you have any questions to how this works, you can always just text me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and I'll always be willing to help, because it really helps to have someone guide you a little bit through this process, because it's not always that easy. But once you have all the papers in order, once you know the process, it's quite good. You come to Thailand, you have PCR. You go to the hotel, you wait for that PCR to hopefully become negative, and then you're basically free to roam. You just have to go back to the hotel, sleep every night for 7 nights, and if the second PCR in the end of those second nights is also negative, then you're free to go, and you can travel all over Thailand. Whereas if you go to Bangkok, for example, which is not a part of the sandbox model, then you have to do like the state quarantine. Like, that's a whole different story. You don't want to do that. You want to go to Phuket, get the sandbox done. I think they open up Koh Samui as well now. Do your 7 days, and then if you don't want to stay afterwards, once you finish your sandbox, you can then travel to the rest of the country. And during those 7 days, you're free. You can roam around. You can actually enjoy life a lot. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick little travel funny montage thing. Let's finish this video off with some shots I took this morning at Nai Han Beach. Enjoy.